Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're trying some new makeup. I have a few brand new launches. I have the new Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I just got this in the mail. I haven't tried it yet. I also have one of the new Patrick Top blush shades and a few more new products that I picked up here and there that I just never tried. So we're gonna test them on my face today, and that is today's video. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. But let's just get right into the makeup. All right, I've already done my SPF, so we're just gonna get right into foundation. So like I said, I do have the new Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I'm a little bit nervous about this because I loved the original Armani Luminous Silk, like a lot of people, so I'm a bit nervous to try this new version. I was actually gonna buy this myself, and then Armani sent me to, which is so fun when that happens, when you're gonna buy something and then it shows up in the mail. It doesn't happen to me that often, but it did this time, which is really nice. So I also have my original Armani right here, and they did send me the shade 5 in the new one. I have shade 5 in the old one, but I also have shade 4.75 in the old version, which I just have the little mini size of right here. This was a really good shade match for me, and this shade, it looks like they got rid of when they redid them, but they had like a shade matcher that I saw online, and it said if you were 4.75, I think they recommended shade 5. Armani also sent me shade 5.1, so we'll just see. I'm not sure which one I'll end up using, but as far as I know, I've seen a lot of things about this online. They have made it more glowy. You know, one of the things I loved most about the original Armani was the finish. It is interesting because it is called Luminous, the Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation. I wouldn't call it an ultra glowy foundation. It definitely wasn't matte, but it had this beautiful natural satin with just like a slight radiance to it, but it was really beautiful and very unique. So I'm a little bit sad that they did that, but you know, brands seem to be doing that nowadays. They're reformulating everything. I just saw that Estee Lauder is reformulating Double Wear, which I can't believe they're doing, but I did just see that. So these brands, you know, they always got to be changing things up, it seems. So let me swatch this one for you. It definitely feels a little bit different, I would say, than the original. So this is shade 5, and this is the new one. That looks actually like it's going to be a good match. So let's hope that it is. Let me swatch actually shade 5 in the original one right next to it. They do look a little bit different to me. So this is shade 5 in the original. This is shade 5 in the new version. I mean, there's not like a huge difference, but I do feel like, I don't know, is there a difference? I feel like maybe the old version is a little bit more yellow, possibly, like just slightly, but it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. They look pretty similar, so hopefully that shade will work. I'm also gonna, let me pull out shade 5.1. I do know, I think they added niacinamide to this formula, which I like niacinamide personally, but I know that it does not agree with some people. I kind of wish they did not do that, but okay, so this one is darker. So we're definitely gonna go in with shade 5, I think. So this is 5.1. This is 5. 5.1 looks a little bit deeper, a little bit more pinky maybe than 5. So let's go in with shade 5. I almost feel like it feels a little bit thinner maybe. Something definitely feels a little different to me in the texture. It smells like it has a little bit of fragrance in it. Yeah, it does. It's not like an overpowering fragrance, but I can smell like a little bit of a floral. Just keep that in mind. I don't remember actually the scent on the original one. I assume it also had a scent, but I don't remember ever really noticing it. All right, so again, this is shade 5, and actually I think it's gonna be a really good shade match. And I'm using a 106 from BK Beauty to apply this. All right, that was one pump of foundation, and you know what? I am surprised to say, but I actually like this. I like the look of this. It definitely has some glow to it, but it's not as glowy as I was afraid it was going to be. It still looks like it does have that kind of natural look to the finish with maybe just like a hint more luminosity to it, but it doesn't look like oily. That's what I was afraid of, is it was gonna look like an oil slick, that type of complexion product, but actually it doesn't. It looks good, and the shade match is very good for me. So maybe this reformulation is gonna work out okay. I'm surprised. I like this on my skin a lot more than I thought. I was a little bit, or I was very nervous about it, but I like the look of it. Now, I don't know how it will perform in terms of, you know, the wear and all those things. The original Armani wore beautifully on me. I could wear it for a very long time, like 8+ hours, and it wore beautifully. So I hope this one is the same. The packaging is a little bit different. The bottle looks about the same, but the old one had frosted glass. The new one is just regular glass. But they look like, I mean, they feel and look to be the same size to me. Yeah, 30 mils, 1 fluid ounce. Maybe this is gonna work out. All right, I do not have a new corrector to use, so I'm just gonna use an old Faithful, which is my Bobbi Brown corrector in Bisque, and apply this before we go in with some concealer. I did, if you notice, my hair is different. I did get my hair done yesterday, and obviously I went back dark. This is very close to just my natural hair color. So this is my first time seeing it on video. I haven't had my hair this dark in quite a while, but I don't know. I was just, a few weeks ago, I just kind of was like, you know what? Actually, I was looking at old pictures of myself, like from before I ever had a YouTube channel, before I ever colored my hair at all, and my hair was dark. And I was like, you know what? I think you need to go back to dark hair. And I'm really happy that I did. I like playing around and doing, you know, the lighter stuff every now and then, but I don't know, I've been kind of more into like a natural aesthetic in general. Like, I haven't even been painting my nails. My nails are just like, these are just my bare natural nails, and I'm kind of liking it for some reason. I used to be like very into getting my nails done, and then for a while I was doing my gel at home, and then once I had my son, I just kind of, I don't really have the time to sit and do that anymore, and so it's kind of forced me into going with my natural nails. And you know what? I don't hate it. I like a clear or like a very neutral polish every now and then if I have the time to sit down and do it, but I don't know. I'm kind of happy with my natural nails now. So I'm kind of doing the same thing with my hair. Oh, I was about to be like, I don't have a new concealer. Yes, I do. I have the About Face concealer. This is the new Illusionist Skin Focused Concealer. This is like my third new concealer I've tried in like 2 weeks. By the time this video goes up, you've probably seen the Chanel and the Prada concealer side-by-side video. This concealer from About Face, I have tried one time. I didn't film it or anything. I just kind of threw it on my face one day, and I liked it, but I didn't pay a ton of attention to it, so I'm excited to try this again. I have the shade L1 Cool Peach. This is a very creamy, hydrating concealer. So I'm excited to try this on camera so you can see. I'm just gonna start with like that much, but this is definitely very hydrating, very creamy. So if you have dry under eyes, this is, I would say, much creamier than the Chanel or the Prada concealer, if you're wondering. And I think actually this is gonna be a good shade match also. There's also the new Charlotte Tilbury concealer that I would like to try. I think I'm probably gonna order that one. There's so many concealers. I love it though. I love a new concealer. That's probably like in my top 3 in terms of like makeup products to try. I'm gonna start blending with an N14. Usually I switch to a larger brush for my face when I blend concealer, but I'm just gonna use this one, I think. I really, really like how hydrating this is. It's like a creamy texture. Feels kind of like a gel cream consistency, but I love the like hydrated finish of it. First, or I guess it's not technically a first impression, but this is my second impression of this new About Face concealer. This is really nice. If you like a creamier, more hydrating concealer, honestly, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Haus Labs concealer in terms of the consistency. If you like that kind of concealer, you would probably really like this. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say I like this so far better than the Chanel and the Prada concealer, but I haven't worn this like I wore those to really test it out. But my first impression of this is very good if you like a more hydrating option. Let's go into some bronzer. I'm going to use this from Creal. This is actually pretty new to me. I've just never shown it in a YouTube video. This is the Just Like Paradise cream bronzer in the shade 2. I've actually had this for a little while. I got it when I was in Florida back in November. They have a Creal display in the Sephora that I was at, the one that's in Disney Springs. And so I picked up a few things from Creal because I haven't tried all of her stuff yet. This is shade 2. I was really torn between shade 2 and shade 1. I went with shade 2 because I like the undertone. It was a little bit less orangey, a little bit more of like a reddish undertone, which if I'm choosing, I prefer more of like a red undertone just because I feel like it looks more natural. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that a lot. Yeah, I loved the undertone of this one the most, so that's why I went with shade 2. I really want the new Westman Face Trace shades. I think there's like 4 new shades, but I really want the one called Toast. It looks like more of a pinky undertone, which I feel like would be so pretty, especially if you wanted to use it as like blush and bronzer. So I am planning to get that. I was hoping it was going to be in store so I could go get it, but so far it looks like it's still online only, so I may have to order it. This is a really nice formula, very similar to like the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. It has that same really creamy, balmy texture, which I love. All right, moving into blush, we have 2 new shades from Patrick Ta in his blush duos. I only got 1, so there's this one, which is Soft Launch, and there's another one. It's a lilac color. I can't think of the name of it now, but I didn't get that because I just know I'm not going to use that, so I didn't pick that one up. I just got this one. So this is the shade Soft Launch. And okay, this looks so pretty to me. So they describe this as like a soft, neutral coral, but I do think it's like a pinky coral. It's not like an orangey coral, which that type of shade was definitely missing from his line. So I'm really happy that they added this shade because he also has the shade She's the Moment, which I think came out like 2 years ago. And it's a very bright, vibrant, orangey coral. I do have it and I never use it, ever. In fact, I'll get it out and show it to you. Okay, so here is She's the Moment. So this is the older one. This is the newer one. So you can see the tone overall looks kind of similar, but the She's the Moment is definitely a bit deeper. Not as fair or light as Soft Launch, but let me swatch them side by side for you. I'm not typically super into corals. I don't know why, I always kind of gravitate towards like pinky shades, mauvey shades, berry shades. I don't really gravitate to coral. but I did swatch this one in store at Sephora and I really liked the swatches. So, oh yeah, this is pretty. Okay, so this is the new one in soft launch. This is the older one in She's the Moment. So you can see the difference in the depth. This one is just a lot deeper and it definitely has more of an orangey coral tint. This one has a coral look to it, but it's more of like a pinky coral, which for me, I definitely prefer that for my skin tone. All right, so sometimes with the Patrick Ta blushes, I'll do powder and then cream like he does. That's kind of his thing. Today I'm just gonna do the cream first. Oh yeah, this is gonna be pretty, I think. Okay, yes, I love that he added this shade because this is gonna be good for fair skin tones, light skin tones. There aren't a ton of options in his blushes that are not so pigmented that they can be intimidating if you have a lighter skin tone. This is one of them. He also has Just Enough, which is, I would say, about the same in terms of the depth of the color, but that one is more of a cool toned, like bubblegum pink. This one has some warmth to it. So now there's two pretty good options for fair skin, which I think is a good thing because you can make all of his blush shades work, I think, on all skin tones, or I should say the deeper shades you could make work on a lighter skin tone. I don't know about making the lighter shades work on deeper skin, but you could make the deeper shades work on lighter skin tones, but you have to be so careful and light-handed to do that. And if you're like a beginner with blush or you just don't feel as confident with blush formulas, then that would probably be a bit much for somebody like that. Okay, I'm loving this. This is so soft and pretty. And it definitely has like a little bit of a coral tint to it, but it's not like overly coral. It definitely pulls like a pinky coral, which I love. So I'm loving this. I'm really glad he added this shade. If you've tried the lavender one, let me know your thoughts on the lavender. I was gonna get it and try it, but I don't know. I just had a feeling I would get it and it would be one of those shades that I just wouldn't pull out and use. But let me know if you tried it. Okay, I feel like this might be one of my new favorite Patrick Ta blushes. I did not think that was gonna happen with this new shade, but I'm loving this. It's like the perfect depth of color for my skin. I'm loving it. All right, let's do a little bit of the powder. I don't want to do a lot of it, but I want to do a little bit. So I'm going to use this blush brush from Creal, which I've been loving. So with his powder blushes, they do typically have some kick up in the pan and they pick up, it's easy to pick up the product is what I'm trying to say. So I typically go like this in the palm of my hand and tap off before I go in with the powder just to make sure I don't overdo it, but I am very excited about this shade. Go over my nose a little. Yeah, if you're around my skin tone and some of his or most of his shades are too intense for you, this one is really pretty. Okay, this is not new, but I'm gonna take a little bit of powder now. This is the powder I have in my everyday makeup this month, which is the Kosas powder in Candy. And I'm just gonna set the T-zone. I gotta say I'm loving these products so far, a lot of them. So as I'm filming this, it is Thursday and we're about to get some, what they're saying is gonna be really, really bad weather starting, I think, in the next like 24 to 36 hours. And they're saying, at first they were saying we're gonna get a ton of snow here in South Carolina. Now they're saying it's gonna be more of like icy rain, which is even worse. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. I hope it's not gonna be as bad as they're like making it out like it's going to be, but I'm a little bit nervous. So I hope y'all are staying safe where you are. I hope it's not too bad. The thing about it here in the South is when this kind of stuff happens, we don't deal with these things that often. So everything like shuts down. People go crazy. They take all the food in the grocery store. It's just like a mess to the point where I don't even like it when we get like true winter weather now, because it just, everything gets so messed up and it's stressful. So there is the base. Let's do some brows. Now that my hair is darker, I may have to switch up my brow pencil. I don't know, actually. I've been using this one from e.l.f. and I really, really like it. This is the new, what is this called? The Microfine Brow Pencil in neutral brown. I'll probably just speed through a lot of this because this isn't that fun to watch, but I'll be back and we'll move into the eyes. All right, let's move into eyes. I don't really have a ton of like new launches to use, but I do have something random, a few random things actually that I guess I ordered at some point and I never used it. So I want to use this. This is a Lisa Eldridge eyeshadow. This is one of her liquid eyeshadows, liquid Lurex in the shade Emily. I must have ordered this at some point when I placed one of my orders, but it just never made it in a video for some reason. I don't know. But I wanted to use it today. It's really pretty. It's like a light kind of golden, ooh, that's pretty, champagne metallic. I like the Lisa Eldridge liquid shadow formula. I did see, actually, I think she just released some new shades and a few of them look like something I would really like. There's a few matte shades that looked really neutral and exactly like the kind of thing that I like. So I kind of want to order some of those and try them. But oh gosh, that's pretty. Because I do like her matte shadows. I have two of them. I don't love the shades that I have. They're okay, but they're not like my perfect shades. But it looked like a few of the new ones might work well for me. So I'm thinking of ordering some of those to try. Ooh, that shade is so pretty. Love that. It's like warm, it's a little bit warm, not like crazy warm, but not like intensely cool toned either. I think there are, I want to say 4 new shades of the shadows. I think they're all matte from what I saw, but I could be wrong. Love that. Okay, I also have a random Merit eyeshadow. This is the Solo Shadow in Brune. Oh, but I also have this. This is Sarah Creal. So I did use this one time. I don't know why I put it back in the box, but this is Sarah Creal as well, and it's one of her eyeliners. I kind of want to use that, but before we do that, I'm gonna grab my palette that I have out this month, which is the Natasha Denona Texture and Tone palette. And I want to take maybe a little bit of P2 and R2 right here. So one's a little bit more pink, one's like a peachy pink, I guess, like a beigey pink. And take a little bit of both. And I'm going to apply those as a little bit of a creasy, as a transition in the crease. So we have a little bit of powder shadow to go with that liquid shadow, and this color I think should go well with that Patrick Ta blush that we have. I'm going to take a little bit of P1 now, and I'm going to bring a little bit of that in this inner part of the eye. And I'm using a Nikki LaRose in 13. Yeah, this is actually my favorite, like, large blending brush for eyeshadow. I have a bunch of them that are like similar, but I don't know, something about the size and the shape of this one I really like. I'm gonna take that brush we used for the Lisa Eldridge shadow, and I didn't add any product to it. I'm just taking that brush and kind of running it along the lower lash line. This is a 206 from BK Beauty. And let's see, let's do some of this Sarah Creal liner. So this is the Eyes Up Creamy Kajal Longwear Liner in Everyday Taupe. This I've used before. I can't remember if I used this in a video or if I just used it on my own, but I do really like this liner. So that is the shade. It's a really nice kind of lighter taupey brown Obviously it's called Everyday Taupe. So you do also get a little brush on one side. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of a wing, and I'm gonna line the upper lash line like halfway. And then I'm gonna flip the brush to the little, or I'm gonna flip the liner to the brush side and just kind of smudge it a little bit. I will say, I feel like this liner has dried out a little bit because like I said, I did use this at one point. I don't know why I put it back in the box, but I feel like it's not as creamy as it was when I tried it the first time, which is not good because this is not like super old. I got it in November, so it's not super old, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit drier feeling. Like I'm having to really like kind of press to get the pigment. And I even kind of warmed it up on the back of my hand before I started applying it, but yeah, it's definitely feels a little bit dry, which that is not good. I'm gonna bring some of this in the inner part of the eye, in like the tear duct area. And then I guess I'm gonna apply it on the whole waterline as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of Y2 right here on a smaller brush. This is a 211 from BK Beauty. It's just like a tinier blending brush, and I'm gonna bring a little bit of that in the crease right here as well. Okay, I'm gonna curl my lashes, and then I do have a new mascara that I just got in PR that I want to try. It is from Urban Decay, and it's the Tube Job Lash Augmenting Tubing Mascara. So they sent, this is in brunette brown, and honestly I'm not a huge fan of tubing mascaras. Personally, I don't know, I just don't love having to use water to take mascara off. I definitely prefer just being able to use like my oil cleanser to get mascaras off, but I did get this, so I want to try it. It's just like a pretty standard looking straight across wand. It feels like or it looks like a very wet formula. So it might be one of those that gets better once it dries out a little bit. Sometimes wet formulas are like that. This eye has been giving me some trouble with my lashes. For some reason, there's this one area here where I have like a sparse area, and the lashes that are like on either side want to like clump together. They don't want to separate. I don't know why, but they just, every mascara I've used, like they just won't separate. They just want to like clump together into one lash, which is not my favorite, but hopefully a new lash will grow in between there soon. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely very wet. I'm getting it all over my lid. It's adding a lot of length, I would say. I don't know how brown it looks on. I feel like it's one of those that looks like a black brown, which is pretty common. So there it is. I mean, that looks pretty nice, honestly. I like it. This eye has been doing better. Do you ever have, I'm sure you do, one of my eyes is always in better shape in terms of my lashes. My right eye is doing better right now than my left eye for some reason. Yeah, it's definitely a very, very wet formula though. Actually, Urban Decay also sent me, they have some new eyeliners on it. I should have used those actually instead of the Sarah Creal. I just thought of it right now. Okay, so there is the mascara. That's pretty nice. You know what actually this reminds me of is the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. I haven't tried that in years, but from what I remember, even the wand kind of reminds me of that. And I want to say that's more of a wet formula also until it dries out a little bit. So yeah, this is definitely what that one, or that's definitely what this one is reminding me of. All right, for lips, I have a few different things here. The first thing I have is the m.ph lip liner in the shade Cowgirl. Honestly, I got this shade because I wanted to try this formula, and a lot of the shades have been sold out for a long time. I'm not sure this is going to be my favorite shade, but that is shade Cowgirl right there. I really want to try Sizzle, but every time I try to get that one, it's out of stock. And so anyways, I got this one. So let's try this formula. Okay, so this is more of like a warm beigey brown color. Okay, actually, that color is not bad. Kind of like it. I wasn't sure about it, but I kind of like that color actually. These are like just a traditional wooden lip pencil, kind of like the MAC lip pencils. That's what these remind me of. So I'm thinking I'm gonna take the blush in Soft Launch and apply that. I have this from Ilia, but I don't think we're gonna need any of this. This is one of the Lip Sketch crayons, but this is more of like a brown or like a rosy pinky brown. This is the shade Genre, which is right there. I guess I'll add a little bit of this. Why not? I just kind of went over the lip liner with that. And then one more thing, also from Sarah Creal. This is her High Glide Peptide Lip Gloss in the shade On Top. And I think this is just like a light champagne kind of sparkly gloss. Yeah, has some golden shimmer in it. I guess it's not champagne, it's more of like a warm nude, like a golden nude. It has really like fine shimmer in it. That's pretty. Kind of reminds me of those Patrick Ta glosses that I love. They Major Shine glosses. This is very similar. Very heavy, nice packaging too. All right, that is everything that we're gonna try today. And y'all, we used some good stuff today. Really, really good. All of this stuff kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but the whole base just really blended well together. So let's go through the products quickly, but I'm really happy with a lot of these things. Starting with the Armani foundation. Okay, I was very skeptical of this. I've been worried about this, but my first impression of this is actually good. I do think we might be okay with this reformulation. I know a lot of people were nervous. A lot of makeup artists use this in their kit. This is a very serious reformulation, but this is really pretty. Obviously, I've only used it once, but it wasn't too glowy and dewy looking like I was afraid it was going to be. So give this one a chance if you're nervous. I was worried too, but I think maybe they did us right on this. It still looks like it has that really natural finish with maybe just like a hint more glow than the original. But in terms of this being like oily, dewy, like ultra glowy, it's not. At least not today. And I did apply a really glowy SPF today. I used this one from Beauty of Josian, the Day Dew. I had applied it like 15 minutes before I started filming, and this is typically pretty dewy, so you know that could even have made this look even dewier, but it didn't. So I'm happy with this. And shade 5 is actually a phenomenal shade match for me. So I'm actually really excited about this. I like this much more than I thought I was going to. Let me know if you've tried the new version. I will include wear notes on this in the description box as well. If you're curious, make sure to check there at the end of the video. But I'm excited for that so far. The other thing I'm really excited about, actually, there's like 3 things that I'm very excited about. This is really good. This About Face concealer, the Illusionist Skin Focus Concealer. Okay, I have just come off of like 5 days of wearing the Prada and the Chanel concealers every day. And if you watch that video, you kind of know my thoughts on them. But I wasn't absolutely in love with either of those formulas, and I'm really surprised to say that. I thought I was gonna love at least one of them, if not both. But neither of them left me feeling like, ooh, I'm excited about this concealer. I can't wait to use it again. I did prefer the Chanel, but I really like this. Initial, first impression or second impression actually, because I've used it once, was I like this a lot. Very, very creamy and hydrating. So if you have dry under eyes, this would be a better formula than the Prada and the Chanel for you, in my opinion. It gives pretty good coverage. It's definitely not full coverage. I would say like a light medium or medium if you add a little bit more than I did. So not a ton of coverage, but I love the finish. It is beautiful, very creamy, and really just blended right into this Armani foundation. So really, really happy with this duo. This Sarah Creal bronzer is super nice. You know, like I said, it's very similar to Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. So if you have that product, you don't need this. The formulas are very, very similar, but I really like this undertone of this one. It's different than my Skin Enhancer that I have. And this is just like the Skin Enhancer, very like blendable. Like it looks very dark in the swatch, but then do you see how much it blends out? And it gives just like a tint of bronze, not intense opaque bronze. So a really good like no makeup kind of bronzer, or you know, for summertime in particular, I think this will be great. But you know, it's Sarah Creal, so it's expensive. I'm not going to tell you that it's better than the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. I think that product is phenomenal, but this is really nice too. The other thing I'm so excited about is this blush, and honestly, I even considered skipping this blush color, both of the new blushes from Patrick Ta, but then I saw something he posted on Instagram where he was swatching this, and he said, if you think it's going to be too orange, go look at it in the store because it actually pulls like a pinky coral, and he's 100% right. It does have like a coral tone to it. It has some warmth in it, but it's also a little bit pinky, and I love it. I think for my skin tone, this tone is perfect. So I'm really happy I didn't skip it. I would have been very, very mad at myself if I did. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the cream, but I love this because I love the tone, like I said, but because it's not so intense in terms of the pigment, this is one that I could apply and not feel like I have to be super careful with it. So I'm very, very happy about that because I love the Patrick Ta blushes, but a lot of the shades for my skin tone, you know, I do have to be kind of careful with them, not with this one. So I am so glad that I picked this up. If you're around my skin tone and you want to try a new blush, I love that. The Eyeshadow from Lisa Eldridge, that was new to me, and this is such a beautiful color in Emily. I love the tone of it. Like I said, it's kind of more of a neutral metallic. It doesn't pull super warm or cool. I like this a lot. I think this is so pretty. I have not worn her liquid Lurex formula, so I don't know about the wear on the metallic shades. So I'll update that in the description box as well. So make sure to check there. What else? The Sarah Creal eyeliner. I'm kind of worried about this because I swear it definitely feels like it's kind of dried out a little bit, which really stinks because her brand is not cheap, but it definitely feels like it's dried a little bit, which is not good. But I love the tone of it, this taupe color, Everyday Taupe. It is similar to Makeup by Mario's Master Pro Pigment Eyeliner in taupe, so I have that one as well. I just mainly got this because I wanted to try the formula. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think it's kind of dried out a little, so probably wouldn't recommend that because that's not very old. The mascara from Urban Decay, I want to keep using this. I think this has potential. It didn't really clump or anything like that. It is very wet though, that's the only thing, and it did get on my lid like you saw earlier, and I feel like some of it is actually still there that didn't want to come off, but I feel like this might be one that's going to get better over time. So I will keep you updated. But if you're a fan of a tubing mascara, this seems like it might be a good one. It's hard to judge mascara just from one use, but I have high hopes for this one. The brown is not like an actual brown though. It is, to me, it looks more of like a black brown. And then the lip products. So that m.ph lip liner, this in Cowgirl, I thought this is going to be too warm. And I don't know, I just wasn't sure about the tone, but actually I think it looked really good. I don't think this is one of the most popular shades because This shade hasn't been out of stock and a lot of the other ones have, but I like this actually. It's very warm, like a beigey brown, but I kind of like it. And it looks great with that Soft Launch cream blush from Patrick Ta. Oh, I just kind of threw some of this on. I don't really know why, this Ilia crayon. I just got this, but it works. Everything kind of went together, but this is nice. I kind of want to use this on its own though. But that's like a bigger, chunkier lip liner. And then the gloss. This is so pretty. It's like a warm golden gloss. Of course, you don't need to buy an expensive lip gloss, but I did buy it because I wanted to try the formula, and it does make your lips look very, very shiny. So if you like that, it looks really nice. It's not gritty or the shimmer in it is very, very fine. So it's not like uncomfortable feeling. And the gloss is also pretty thin. Feels good, not sticky at all on the lips. Some good things today. I am really, really excited about some of this stuff. I hope you enjoyed this. This is so much fun. Don't be scared of the Armani foundation. Give it a chance. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Everything I used today will be linked, and I will list all the shades in the description box. I will link everything in YouTube shopping for you as well. If you do shop through my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel. And make sure to check the description box for any wear notes on today's makeup look. And last, if you would, I would love for you to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair, and I am also on TikTok at simply.blair1. And I think that's everything for today. I'll see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.